Welcome to Exit the Rat Race with your hosts, Andrew and Mike. This podcast series covers the ins and outs of exiting the 9-to-5 rat race so many folks are stuck in. If you want to become an independent entrepreneur, you are in the right place. Take it away, guys.
Okay, so we are live on a brand new podcast. I have Andrew McDaniels here. He's in Delaware, and I'm Michael Rosica. I'm in New Jersey, and we have created a podcast called Exit the Rat Race. We plan on covering some pretty good information. Andrew, are you alive and well?
Yes, we're here. We're ready to go, Mike. Looking forward to having a great series with you and bringing some good information to the people.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this as well. I've been threatening to do this for a while now, and I think you and I are the perfect candidates to really go through some interesting material with experienced investors and people that are completely new to the business, the business of exiting the rat race. It really is a business, right?
Absolutely. Just between the calls that I've had with you and other people, the information that people can share with one another, it's really masterminding between people, and the more people that you can learn from, the better. But it's really, you want to learn from like-minded people, and you want to learn what actually works, and you want to actually get it from people that have been through it and they have experience. And that's why I like talking to you, Mike, because you have such an interesting story, and I've learned so much from you already. And hopefully I'd love for people to hear about my story and learn from the experiences that I've had, because they're still, since they're so fresh, hopefully people can relate to what I've went through,
Yeah, absolutely. And, you touched on a good point already. We didn't even get into this thing yet. You and I are very similar, but we are from two different generations. So there's going to be topics that you're going to bring up that are going to be foreign and unique to me, because I'm an old guy. I'm 56 years old, and you're a young guy. And
I'm 29, yeah.
Yeah, so we're basically coming from two generations of experience, and I have always leaned towards getting information out to the youngins so that they don't wait until they're 56 years old to make a change in their life. I'm not saying that you can't make a change at 56. You absolutely can. You can change at 76, in my opinion. But to give a perspective of how a young guy has exited the rat race as you have at such an early age is very impressive. I know you've got a baby on the way, and you're going into some very exciting times in your life.
That's right, absolutely.
By you sharing your experience and my sharing of my experience, I think we can bring a lot of value to people. So with that, Andrew, why don't you give me a quick little bio on yourself and where you've been lately?
Absolutely. So for people that really don't know me, I grew up in Scotland. I lived in Scotland for about 18 years. My dad's U.S. He was retired U.S. Navy, and we were stationed in Scotland. We were stationed in Italy. We lived in Naples, Italy for 3 years. And I've really been able to travel the world when I was young. I did a lot of trips, a lot of places. I've been to most of Europe. I've been to Australia. Just places that, I had such a great childhood. It was amazing. So when I was 18, I moved to Delaware in 2004, and the first thing I did was I jumped into university. I got a job literally a couple weeks after I moved to Delaware, and jumped right into university. I started so fast forward, I got my degree, and then I got my master's degree in finance, and I started my business in 2008, but I really didn't do anything until probably 2012, and that's when my wife Nadia, she got us tickets to go to a Robert Kiyosaki seminar, and it was just a free seminar. And really, that point on, it really changed our life because we actually were able to take action. And fast forward a year later, made my first check in wholesaling, and from then onwards, from January 2013 till today, we did over $2 million in flips, and we're involved in flips, rentals. We've bought non-performing first lien notes. I also started my own RIA in Delaware. It's called the Greater Delaware RIA, and a year ago I got into the note business, and I created a Facebook group called Nationwide Note Buyers and Sellers, and so my real goal over the next year is just to become an accredited investor, and to just take advantage of any opportunities that come my way, and just the opportunities that we can, create together, Mike. So why don't you share with everybody a little bit about yourself, Mike?
Sure. Well, I've been in manufacturing my entire life. I started working in manufacturing at the ripe young age of 17, and have always kind of made myself up to the top of each company that I worked at as far as research and development, whatever. Pretty much enjoyed being on the creative end of manufacturing. I think it has helped me a little bit more in the creative aspects of getting into the different types of investing that I'm currently in right now. I bought my first two-family house in 1999, which I still own to this day. This is 2015. I enjoy purchasing rentals, and in 2005, I was able to actually leave this rat race that what I would call having to commute anywhere to get to work, and started working home-based in 2005, which I'm very happy to do. It's been interesting, to say the least. I have two children that are grown up now, 25 and 22, and when I quit my job, they were, 15 and 12. So, I know you have a youngster coming along, and I had these two teenagers in the house. I was skeptical. I had to make it work. And when you have to do something, you find ways that you didn't really know were even available to you until you just said, listen, this has to work. So that's the kind of information I want to pass on to everyone on these podcasts that we're going to hold over the next, I don't know, we could do this for the next 6 months, I suppose.
Yeah, there's so many topics really that we could cover.
What I've really latched onto in the last 8 years is investing in non-performing mortgages. And I know, Andrew, that's why you and I actually got together. I spoke at Andrew's Delaware event. I think that was about a year ago, right?
Yeah, it was probably you came down to us probably about almost a year ago. Yeah.
So we've only known each other a year. I feel like I've known you my entire life. We just kind of clicked early on, and we have very similar objectives, I guess you could say, and motivations, but we got there in different vehicles. So I think what we're going to be able to share with everyone over the next 6 months is how we exited the rat race, and the tools that we used, the people that we met, the people that we keep close to to ourselves is key to all that. And so, Andrew, why don't you run through some of the upcoming podcasts that we're going to be holding to kind of spark everyone's interest a little bit and let them know what they're in for.
Sure. So we were brainstorming together, and some of the ideas for a podcast that will be coming up, we'll be talking just general real estate topics. We'll be focusing on IRAs and mostly self-directed IRAs, and building your networks, and examples of how we did it, even though the country's going through a great recession. So those are some of the topic ideas that we'll be talking to you guys about, and so yeah, it's going to be interesting over the next few weeks and few months.
Yeah, what I'd like to touch on right now, the information that we're going to be sharing is going to be geared more towards beginning investors, but we will touch, I promise you, on topics that the experienced investor may not be familiar with. And if they are familiar with it, hopefully we can drill down and really get specific about the utilization of, let's say, self-directed IRAs, and really get into the nitty-gritty of the beauty of a self-directed IRA. Less than 3% of the country is actually taking advantage of the wonderful nuances of a self-directed IRA. So that's important. We address a large enough audience, and we promise you that the content is going to be good. It's going to be capturing some live masterminding between Andrew and myself. I have a slew of guests that we could bring on, Andrew. I don't know about you.
Absolutely, me too. I mean, I'm famous for content, man. I no matter what event that I put on, I don't sell anything. That's not my philosophy. I believe in content. I believe in providing value to people. And really, you're not only just giving me a platform, Mike, but we're having a platform together to really just enhance what we already know, and learn new things together as well. It's going to be a great journey. I'm really excited about this.
Yeah, every time, Andrew, you and I get on the phone, we get on the phone with questions, and by the time we get off the phone, we've covered some awesome material. I think we've only been really talking seriously for a month? Has it?
Yeah.
And you've been on vacation 2 of those weeks out of that month.
Exactly. I try to enjoy myself.
Quit enjoying yourself. And let's provide that content that you're talking about.
Absolutely. I'll try to do that when I'm not on vacation. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So cool. So I tell you what, let's drill down a little bit more on some of. You had mentioned before that you had done some wholesaling. Can you explain that? Wholesaling of real estate, I assume.
Yeah, absolutely. So at that Robert Kiyosaki meeting, we learned about 10 or 12 different ways to make money in real estate. And what really hit me was the wholesaling part, because I didn't have any money, and I was hurting for money really bad back in 2012. I was up to my eyeballs in student loans and credit card debt, and I was it was just a really difficult time for me. And so I needed quick cash. I decided that would be the best way for us to earn quick money. I wasn't really interested in flips, even though that was my end goal, was to move towards flips. But really, Mike, you do something similar with notes, and you can do the same with houses. You just get the property under contract, and you find a buyer that's willing to pay more than what's on the contract, and that's basically what I did for a year solid. In my first year, I did I think 13 or 14 wholesale deals, and I made 6 figures in my first year. And before that, I think I made 25, 30 grand was the maximum I ever made in 1 year. So that was it was kind of like shooting to the moon. I'd never made that much money in a year, and that was that was my platform for rebuilding my life, because to that point I'd made every financial mistake possible. Really, I learned so much that there's possibilities. You can really do things if you put your mind to it. Determination and hard work pay off. Your mindset is more important than anything else, because there's so many naysayers and non-believers out there that will put you down. And really, I think I can talk to an audience that if they don't have support systems in their life, I can share things that helped me in my life at that period of time. And I think this is what's going to be great about this podcast series, is that we'll actually be able to give you guys some real life scenarios and real life things that helped us and what we actually discovered by just talking about it, you know. And the best thing about it, Mike, is that just in the phone calls that we've had, we've been able to uncover things that, you know, that are deep down and you put in the back of your mind, and when you actually talk about them, it just reinforces what you know already. But it's just great, and I think it's going to benefit a lot of people, to be honest.
Yeah. You know, you mentioned support, and back in 2005, when I exited my job, if you will, I left there, and I, of course, had wonderful family support. My family support has been awesome. I think that they were excited that I was going to be home all day. At least my kids were excited about that. The support that I got from my family was awesome. The support that I got from my existing friends that were still caught up in the manufacturing rat race was not so hot. They looked at me as though I had left them, and they didn't want me to, I'm assuming they didn't want me to leave them just by the attitude that I was picking up. So what did I do? I went out and I made new friends. I had to go out and make new friends. I think, Andrew, you may be in a similar parallel from some of the previous conversations we've had, is to go out and find new friends that are like-minded. I went out and I did that, and that's going to be one of our upcoming subjects, is building your network. My network now consists of about 550 people that are my new friends that have similar interests being, first of all, education. The people that I hang out with are growing and learning. I believe that if you're not growing and learning, you're dying. And I will hopefully, as long as I have my brain intact, be learning for the rest of my life, because that, to me, is the most exciting thing. When I
Absolutely.
learn and I discover and then I share, that to me is the key of life. And it has been a major part of my success, is not in dollars, but in how much I can share. Why do you think Andrew and I are sitting here at 1:30 on the East Coast doing a free webinar instead of going out and earning money? Is because we both feel the need to share. Sharing is, in my opinion, the growth. And so, as you stated, I have nothing to sell. And these podcasts are not, there's not going to be 1 minute of pitch.
That's right.
There's no reason to, I have my ways of making money outside of this podcast, and I'm going to leave it that way. And
absolutely, that is true, Mike. We both have our own businesses, so I was just going to mention that the type of people we are. I learned this phrase from David Phelps. He told me there's two different types of people. There's givers and takers, and I love that. I love how simple that is, because really, if you think about it, if you make your friends a group of takers, they're going to take your time, your energy, your motivation, your health, in some cases, some stress, and that's a big deal. If you surround yourself with givers, people are going to give you energy, give you time, give you support, and really that's very critical. So everything we're going to talk about, we're going to get from a giving standpoint. We're both like-minded, Mike, so it's very easy for us. It comes naturally to us. So I think people are going to love it. I personally, I think we're going to have a great series here, and I think that people will love this podcast.
Yeah, and if they don't love it, too bad.
That's right. Hey, you can't please everybody, I would say, but we're here to have fun and enjoy ourselves, but also to actually do something meaningful with our time, because you can help people in many ways, and I believe in helping people with my time and giving back whenever possible, because someone invested in me, and I believe in I believe my faith tells me to get back to people as well.
Nice. Well, great. Okay, so we will be putting this out through the regular Apple series and a few other things that we'll be posting these out to in the coming weeks and months. So listen, Andrew, thanks for your time today. Like I said, I'm really excited to do this. I appreciate your time that you're going to put into this. I thank you for that, and I look forward to really covering some ground here. Yeah,
Mike, I appreciate you as well because I know that you're a busy person too, and just the type of person that Mike is. I've known Mike now for just a little bit over a year, and I consider him a mentor and a friend. And I really believe that the more mentors you have in your life, the easier your life will be. So I really believe that people that don't have someone in their current circle, that they should be able to enjoy this, because I really consider you a wealth of information, Mike. And just together, I think we're gonna make it a great success for people.
Well, you too, Andrew. And so look for our upcoming podcasts, and we'll catch you next time.
All right, guys. Take care. Bye.
Excellent. We hope you enjoyed our podcast. Please tune in next week to Exit the Rat Race with Andrew and Mike.